Have you ever been in a conversation with a woman and she asked you a question so seemingly random, so oddly personal, that it caught you off guard? Maybe you laughed it off. Maybe you answered it and didn't think much of it. But what if, I told you, that question wasn't random at all? What if it was her subtle way of imagining you differently, not in a creepy, weird way, but in a human, natural, curiosity-driven way? You see, women are highly intuitive. They often communicate indirectly, not because they're playing games, but because they're deeply tuned into subtle emotional and physical signals. And sometimes, when she asks you a certain kind of question, she's not just being curious. She's mentally undressing you, slowly, carefully, without saying a single word about it. So what kind of questions am I talking about? Let's take a journey into a conversation. Imagine this. You're sitting across from her, maybe at a coffee shop, maybe on a park bench, or maybe it's late at night, and the two of you are texting back and forth, your words moving across time and space like a quiet little spark between you. And then she asks, "What do you sleep in?" Now, on the surface, that's a simple question, right? Pajamas, boxers, maybe you say nothing just to be cheeky. But ask yourself, why would she want to know that? Is it just small talk? No, not really. This question is loaded. It's personal, it's intimate. And it tells you one very specific thing. She's letting her guard down just a little. She's inviting an image of you that's not buttoned up, formal or filtered. She's picturing you in a state that's close to vulnerable. But here's the beautiful part. She's not doing this to make you uncomfortable. She's doing it because she feels something, a kind of pull, a curiosity, an attraction that's starting to form in ways she might not even fully understand yet. Now, maybe she doesn't ask that exact question. Maybe she says something like, "Do you work out? Are you ticklish? What kind of cologne do you wear?" Each of these might sound like simple questions, but under the surface, they're layered with something else, something more sensory, more emotional. When a woman asks you what cologne you wear, she's not trying to make a shopping list. She's imagining being close enough to smell it, close enough to lean in, close enough to notice the little details, like the way your skin smells or how your body moves when you laugh. These aren't flirty questions in the traditional sense. They're more subtle than that. They're disguised as curiosity, but they're wrapped in imagination. And that's what makes it so powerful. You see, women are deeply imaginative. And when they start to feel a connection with a man, they don't always express it with words. They let it leak out in these sideways questions, these harmless little moments, but nothing about them is harmless. They're revealing, honest, beautiful even. Let's go deeper. You're hanging out with her and she randomly says, "I bet you were a troublemaker in high school." Now, what does that mean? It could just be playful banter. But look at it from another angle. She's not asking about your grades. She's picturing the younger version of you, the untamed, rebellious, maybe slightly dangerous version of you. She's imagining how you looked before life smoothed out the edges. And again, it's not about facts. It's about the imagery, the feeling, the story she's beginning to build in her head. Now, why does this matter? Because men miss this all the time. We think women are straightforward when they're interested. We look for the obvious signs, a compliment, a direct question, a clear invitation. But women often speak through metaphor, through emotion, through atmosphere. So when she asks you a question that seems random, odd, or strangely specific, pay attention. She might be opening a door. Not just a door to conversation, but a door into her imagination. And if you walk through that door with confidence, not arrogance, but presence, you'll start to feel the shift. You'll notice how her body language changes, how her eyes linger just a second longer, how her tone softens. This is where chemistry begins, not in grand declarations, but in the tiniest moments of emotional exposure. She might ask, "Have you ever had your heart broken?" She's not just making conversation. She's checking to see if you've lived, if you've loved, if you've hurt, because that tells her something about your depth, about your capacity, about the way you might handle her emotions one day. Or maybe she asks, "What's your biggest turn-off?" Again, not just curiosity. She's filtering. She's learning how to be around you. She's imagining what turns you away so she can figure out how to pull you closer. And you know what else? Sometimes these questions don't come with words at all. Sometimes she'll touch your arm lightly while laughing. Sometimes she'll compliment something oddly specific, like your voice or your hands. And those comments, they're mental images, internal explorations. You don't need to say anything bold in response. You just need to hold the moment, let it breathe. Let the tension grow, not the awkward kind, but the kind that makes silence feel thick with possibility. Because if you react too fast, if you joke it off or rush past it, you miss the moment. You turn down the volume on a song she was just beginning to play. And the truth is, attraction lives in that music, in that dance of curiosity, imagination, and just enough mystery. Here's something most men never understand. When a woman starts to mentally undress you, she's not just seeing your body, she's seeing your energy, the way you carry yourself, the way your voice makes her feel, the way you listen, the way you joke, the way you create space for her without trying to impress her. Because real attraction is not about the body, it's about the presence that body contains. Let me say that again. It's not about the body, it's about the presence inside it. So, if she asks you that question, the one that catches you off guard, the one that feels oddly intimate for the moment, don't get defensive. Don't shut it down. Don't try to one-up her or change the subject. Instead, lean in. Answer it with authenticity. Match her emotional frequency. Because when she feels seen, and when you let yourself be seen in return, that's when the magic happens. And here's the most fascinating part of it all. She may not even realize why she's asking the question. Sometimes it's subconscious. Her attraction is surfacing without her permission. It's not a strategy, it's instinct. Curiosity driven by connection. And if you're present enough to catch it, it tells you everything you need to know. So the next time she asks you something that feels out of place, pause, smile, feel the energy behind it. And remember, she might not be asking for information. She might just be imagining something more. And you? You don't need to guess. You just need to be there, fully, calmly, authentically. Because when you show up that way, when you're not shaken, not rushed, not desperate, you become someone worth imagining. And that's when she starts seeing you in a different light, not just as a friend, not just as someone she talks to, but as someone she feels. And once a woman starts to feel you, not just see you, you're no longer just a guy in her life. You become the one she thinks about at night, the one she pictures, the one she wonders about. So if she asks you this, remember it's not about the words, it's about what's behind them. And if you can see that, if you can feel that, you'll never miss the signal again. This isn't about playing games. It's about learning to listen, not just to what she says, but to what she means. And the truth is, she might already be imagining you in ways you never expected. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and most of all, stay you. Until next time.